Do you ever feel like you're the one building the rocket, but someone else is getting the astronaut's parade? If you're a deep thinker, a strategist, the one turning ideas into reality, but not always the face of the operation, this video is for you. Today we're diving into something I think a lot of us experience, especially if you're an entrepreneur, building a career, or just passionate about making real impact. We're talking about being the person whose real strengths lie in conceptualizing, in deep analysis, in building the actual solutions. But maybe you're not the one always in the spotlight. We know your work is critical, but you sometimes wonder if its true depth is really seen, or even if you are seen. We're going to explore how to get your strategic value recognized and feel more fulfilled in your role. My passion, maybe yours too, is really getting into the nuts and bolts, business analysis, conceptualizing solutions, understanding all the variables. There's a saying I believe in: everything always seems easy if you didn't think enough about it, right? That deep dive, that critical analysis is where the real magic often happens. It's about understanding all the knobs you can turn before taking action. But here's the flip side. When you see things with that level of depth, it can be a challenge to communicate it. You might offer a solution or flag a potential issue, and if others haven't gone through that same deep thought process, it might not click for them immediately. Sometimes it can even feel like you're just nagging. And I bet that sounds familiar. The key isn't to stop thinking deeply, but to find ways to bridge that gap in understanding. Now, I'll admit, deep down, there's sometimes this pull towards that James Bond-esque businessman image. Suave, always closing the deal, clearly the star. But for many of us, especially if we're more introverted, that's not really who we are, or even what we truly want to be doing day to day. When I really broke it down for myself, that James Bond feeling wasn't about the flashy stuff. It was about a desire for apparent freedom, the satisfaction of saving the day through smart solutions, and honestly just being seen for the contributions I make. It's about earning that admiration and respect for your skills and decisiveness. The good news? You do not need the tuxedo and a license to thrill to achieve those core feelings. Your strategic insights and building capabilities are your superpower for saving the day countless times, often by preventing problems no one even saw coming. So if you're the one with the deep insights, how do you get them across effectively, especially to partners or team members who might not be as technical or in the weeds as you are? One thing I'm continuously working on is talking more about what it means for the business, rather than just technical details of the solution. So instead of just explaining how the engine works, focus on where the car can now go because of it, the new markets, the efficiencies, and the problem solved for the customer. And what does real appreciation even look like? For me, and maybe for you, it's not just a pat on the back. It's when your partners or team actively engage in the deep thought with you. That's the goal, to foster an environment where your analytical approach is valued and explored collaboratively. Sometimes this means scheduling specific sessions for those deeper dives or preparing questions that invite that kind of discussion. This can be tricky. You're working with partners, maybe they're fantastic at sales and networking. They are the face of the company. And yes, a certain amount of perceived expertise is needed in those roles. But what happens when you feel the advice being given is a bit shallow, or solutions are being oversimplified, or results even overpromised? I've definitely felt that tension. There's that worry about the company's reputation or setting unrealistic expectations. And over time, I found that open and honest internal conversations can help. And as your partners also learn and grow, this often gets better. But it's also about you consistently bringing that depth, framed in business terms, to that internal strategy. It's not about undermining, but about ensuring the face of the business is backed by solid, well thought out foundations that you help build. As a business grows, your role might shift. Maybe you're in fewer sales meetings like I am, and that can trigger a feeling of having less grip on the company. Maybe even feeling a bit replaceable because the company's success might feel less directly tied to your daily actions in those areas. But here's another way to look at it. Something I've been realizing, this can actually be a good thing. Yes, it's good for the company to be less dependent on one person for everything. But more importantly, it can be really good for you. It allows you to focus more on the work you genuinely love and excel at. In my case, that is business analysis and conceptualizing solutions. The less I'm doing sales, the happier I can be as a person. But this is as long as I trust that everything else is being done right. The shift is about evolving your impact, not diminishing it. So if you're not the traditional networker, how do you get seen? How do you build that reputation and professional presence? This is where being out there through your work itself comes in. Think about it. Things like content creation, sharing your expertise through articles and videos like this, or even case studies. Your deep understanding is valuable to others. Next to content creation, you can also work on interesting projects. Let the quality and innovation in your projects speak for themselves. Success here builds credibility faster than anything. Next to that, you can also do social work or purpose-driven initiatives. Using your skills for causes you care about can be fulfilling and a great way to demonstrate your capabilities. It's about choosing your preferred stage, one that aligns with your strengths and personality. Look, if you're wired to be the strategist, the builder, the deep thinker, your value is immense. It's about understanding that, finding authentic ways to communicate it, and structuring your role in your business in a way that lets your specific genius shine. You don't need to be the James Bond in the movies to be the hero of your business story. So what about you? Do you recognize yourself in any of this? What are your biggest challenges or successes in getting your strategic value recognized? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching, and if this resonated with you, give it a like and maybe subscribe for more content on navigating the entrepreneurial journey and building a career on your own terms. Until next time, keep building, keep thinking, and make sure your value is seen.